Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newsgram.
Have you ever felt completely and utterly lost? You know the feeling. You look around, you see all these people that just seem to have it all figured out. Life is no problem. How do they do it? You want to admire them, but inside, it just kind of makes you feel more lost and confused than ever before. You look for answers, but nobody can really help. They try, but nothing they say really hits home for you. They don't know you like you know you. You feel mentally unstable, but then again, the idea of talking about your mental health, well, that's frightening. In fact, life can be so hard sometimes that the thought of checking out on the whole thing starts to sound like a pretty good idea. And I'm not trying to bring you down here with the saddest episode of Newsgram ever recorded. It's actually quite the opposite. If any of this hits home, then you need to understand that it's okay to feel this way. It's perfectly normal. In fact, more people probably feel this way than have it all together.
I think it's part of the mental illness as well. You think you are the only person that feels that way. And you're the only one who has these negative feelings. You feel quite isolated. So obviously, the mind is lying to you, your emotions are lying to you. You're not alone, you're not the only one. But I think it's important to realise that is part of the illness as well.
So true. And nobody knows about this better than Rudo Savage. She's author of a new book called The Words of the Lost Soul. Like I said, mental health is an illness, and it is treatable, and there's no shame in talking about it. And if you'll indulge me for a few minutes here, I want to read you a letter from her. I want my readers to have an understanding that there's no shame in struggling with mental health, and that it is so important to be open about this. I was so ashamed to admit that I was struggling because I had a reputable career, and I was a mother. I assumed opening up about this issue would make others see me in a certain way, such as weak, dramatic, or abnormal. Somebody who was unable to do their job or was a bad mother. The irony of the situation is that I was more determined not to be open and to ask for the help that I needed. As the overwhelming emotions continue to increase, leading unto me nearly losing my life, I have found from opening up that it's very clear that a lot more people struggle with these issues than initially thought. Many people actually show compassion and an interest in the topic because of this. Secondly, I want them to have an understanding that everyone's life paths are beautiful and unique. I always felt stigmatized that because I was a single mother of 3 children that I had failed, that I wasn't doing it properly and was punishing my children for raising them alone. I feel society still makes us feel as though a family should consist of 2 united parents. I also doubted the fact that families can be wonderful however they're formed or present. And I want to apply this way of thinking to my readers with regard to whatever chapter they're in life or whatever path that they're currently on. I felt at 30 years old I still had no idea where I wanted to be or who I wanted to be. I was unmarried. All my relationships were ending in rejection. I was mentally unstable. I had many debts. I lived in a city that made me feel more and more lifeless each day. I would see others around me getting married, having children, and buying houses. I was not like them, and I punished myself every day for this. My life is still beautiful and unique, even if it's different, because actually those differences in my life have led me to writing and publishing a powerful book that's helped not only heal myself, but to heal others. I know a lot more about who I am and where I want to be. I still don't know it all, but I'm very much at peace with that. And that's what makes life magical, the mysteries of what can be and what is to come. Lastly, I would want them to know that pain is temporary. People are a lot more resilient and stronger than you think. It's never easy to endure the hard times, but like the seasons, they pass. And we look back with admiration and a newfound sense of growth, that we did it then and we can do it again.
I actually feel like it was more detrimental to be quiet about my mental health because it led me to nearly losing my life. I had to seek the help and there was no running from it anymore. Actually, I did have quite a wonderful experience from it. My work were very supportive, my parents were very supportive, my friends were. Social services were involved because of the nature of me being a single parent and struggling, but it was more in a way that was supportive as opposed to something that I needed to be scared of, if that makes sense. And writing the book and hearing people respond back, you would be surprised how many people feel that way, feel like they're struggling, but feel like they can't say anything. So again, it was quite comforting to know that quite a lot of people do feel that way. And I'd like the purpose of the book to let others know that it's okay to feel that way, that they're not alone, that there's no shame in it, and there shouldn't be a stigma in it either.
When we learn to shine a light on the dark places of our lives, the improvements seem to have a way of coming to us in abundance. In her book, she tells her story, her 15-year battle with mental illness, and how she found her way through it all. And while 15 years seems like a long time, especially for someone in her early 30s, she offers this advice.
Hard times do not last. You are enough as you are. There's nothing wrong with you. It's completely normal to suffer with mental health. It doesn't make you less of a person or a bad person. Please seek the help if you need it. You are enough. You will get there. Just give it time.
And I get it. Sometimes this can feel like just words in a podcast. We don't know you and we don't know your situation, and that maybe this isn't necessarily true. Well, then you should read her story. The book is called The Words of the Lost Soul by Rudo Savage, a 30-year-old mother of 3, daughter, sister, friend, and nurse who found her way out of the darkness with a message for you that being lost is not the end. It's actually the most important part of the journey. Her words, not mine. This book is available online at Amazon.com, Goodreads, Barnes & Noble, and many other places. And yes, there are links for you in the show's description. And that will do it for this mental health edition of Newsgram from WebTalkRadio.com.